baby steps towards getting sober and living a sober life. There's other people that have had a little bit of time sober that just need some sober people to show them meetings and where to go and what kind of activities you can do sober. And there's a lot of anxiety that comes with being sober, and just having someone with you kind of lessens the anxiety and helps build connection through recovery.
Hello, everybody. My name is Pej with Pej Interventions. This is my channel on YouTube. If you would please subscribe and also like it and share it everywhere, that would be awesome. So what do? I'm an interventionist, but I also provide many different types of services. One of them is recovery companion services. I am here with my friend Lauren Meadows. She's a companion. We do a lot of work with helping people, and I wanted to kind of break it down today and letting you know what recovery companion services, what they consist of, what's the necessity for it, why does it even exist, how come it's necessary for some people as opposed to others that are in recovery, and who could use these services. So recovery companion services is usually sober coaching. A lot of times there are people that are getting out of treatment, or they may be a high profile type of person, or a person that has to go on tour, or is an actor, or maybe even comes from the type of family where the family really wants to make sure that after all the other times that the person has struggled and to stay sober, that perhaps maybe bringing somebody on board that can work alongside them, they can help them by showing them how we stay sober and how we can actually have really good, beautiful lives as a result of being in recovery. And therefore a recovery companion is placed with that person as somebody who is a coach. Sometimes it's an assignment, sometimes it's for a period of time, sometimes it's for a long period of time, sometimes even there's shifts sometimes, and sometimes companions will stay with somebody morning, noon, and night. They even sometimes move in with them. I've had that personal experience. So I wanted to bring Lauren on today because Lauren and I both have extensive experience in helping do recovery companion work with certain types of people. And I just wanted to kind of have Lauren give a breakdown of what recovery companion services are, as far as what she does and how she goes about it, and maybe some experiences just to let people know the importance of it. So go ahead, Lauren.
Hi. So companion, generally when someone needs a companion, there's different facets. Each person is a special case, and the needs are different depending on the client. There are some people that might be a flight risk, and we need to make sure that they are staying sober and kind of watched after, taken to meetings, make sure that they're eating, make sure that they are doing their laundry, kind of taking care of them and showing them baby steps towards getting sober and living a sober life. There's other people that have had a little bit of time sober that just need some sober people to show them meetings and where to go and what kind of activities you can do sober. And there's a lot of anxiety that comes with being sober, and just having someone with you kind of lessens the anxiety and helps build connection through recovery and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So when you say flight risk, can you explain what is a flight risk when it comes to somebody who's new in recovery? Why would they call it that?
A flight risk is generally someone who keeps escaping and let's say their family has them at their house and they keep leaving and getting high in the middle of the night or disappearing for times on end. There's different capacities of flight risk, but someone who's basically trying to leave.
Right. So when it comes to recovery companions, I mean, obviously, what type of people are recovery companions? Usually it's people that are in recovery. So if a person is in recovery, the standard age, amount of time that person has been sober is usually about 5 years or more. But me personally, I would rather have a companion who is engulfed in the recovery process that can be a good influence and help somebody build a good community, as well as be there hands-on with the individual, being attractive in their own recovery style of living and showing that person like how they can be that, empowering them, getting them out and about, giving them a lot of hope. Because a lot of times when somebody is a flight risk or a chronic relapser or a person that doesn't know how to do recovery, if you just put somebody there that has 5 years of sobriety with them that doesn't really do recovery except for they just stay sober or they might go to a couple meetings or things like that, then I don't really see that person getting the type of recovery that they need. One of the reasons I love working with Lauren is that the clients that we take on, sometimes they are complicated clients. Sometimes they are very headstrong, very entitled. They may have a lot of ups and downs. They've got a lot of different types of conditions, mental health conditions that are coupled with addiction or alcoholism. And so we as companions have to be able to be fully equipped, trained, and know how to take that roller coaster ride that might present itself with a certain individual. There are some people that we companion that it's a walk in the park. It's not hard at all. They're very easy to work with. They listen, they follow through. Sometimes they even grasp recovery and embrace it like really fast, but they can also play a now you see it, now you don't game with us, where they'll do really well because they feel like because they feel like they're under the microscope, right? They feel like they've got somebody that's watching them, but then all of a sudden, as they start getting better, or at least they present better, then they're right out the door and they might go and relapse. And when I say now you see it, now you don't, when you least expect it. So our whole goal as companions with these people is to be able to gauge them, to get a good read on them, to meet them where they're at, but also get them where they need to be. And that can happen in many different ways. Recovery companions do not work the 12 steps with their clients. However, we will find someone or help them find somebody that would be an appropriate sponsor per se, if that's, or a spiritual advisor that can help them through any kind of recovery process. Somebody that we would really recommend or think would do good work with the person and won't conflict with what we're doing as far as being a recovery companion for them. And then some people call recovery companions paid babysitters, but I don't see that as really babysitting the person, although sometimes we are spoon feeding them recovery. But some people lack life skills, or some people have been so lost in their addiction or their alcoholism that they don't know how to clean up after themselves. So what we try to do in the whole process of coaching and teaching them recovery is also teaching them life skills too. Do you want to give one little example of like perhaps something you've had to deal with as far as somebody that might be oppositional or confrontational, and how you were able to diffuse that and bring them back into the realm of what we're doing?
Yeah. Oftentimes clients, it's the disease and we can't take it personal. I'm one that knows that if someone's going through something, I can't take it personal. It's just them and the place that they're at. But sometimes people can be a little nasty. Setting a clear boundary with them and letting them know, like, I'm not the enemy and I'm here to help. So just let me know when you want that help. I'm not going to take this type of behavior or accept this kind of behavior. I'm literally just trying to help you get to a better place in your life. And being that little glimmer of hope sometimes really, really, really helps people to because you're in a dark place, when you're struggling with addiction is like a very dark place. And I just try to be the light at the end of the tunnel. That's like, okay, there is something and someone here on my corner that I can do better.
Awesome. So with that said, one of the reasons that I wanted to make this video today is obviously many of you know me as Pej that does interventions. And so when I do interventions, I'm trying to get somebody the help that they need, whether they're struggling with addiction, with alcoholism, with mental health, co-occurring disorders, dual diagnosis, it doesn't matter. My whole goal is not just to get that person cleaned up. I don't just want to get them into detox and residential so that they can get cleaned up but have no aftercare program. The reason that we provide these other services afterwards is because a person sometimes will need somebody to sort of hold their hand through the recovery process, especially the person that's been to countless treatment centers or has attempted to get sober countless times but hasn't been able to actually do it. It's always good to have somebody there as a companion that will be able to walk them through the do's and don'ts. And let's not make the same mistakes as we did before. I'm here for you. I support you. Follow my lead. And that's one of the reasons. So if you're in need of helping somebody, or if you want to learn more about our recovery companion services, you can always contact me, 310-596-9356. I'm going to be making a series of videos that has everything to do with sober livings, the importance of sober livings, more recovery companion services, recovery coaching too, that we offer both online and sometimes in person, depending on where you are or where we are, and then obviously interventions. At the end of the day, interventions is one of my greatest specialties, and I love to be able to try to help people of any caliber of life that might need help. So I'm here for you, and thank you, Lauren.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect.